Hello, hello, hello. Short break after the USA-Philippines game. Time for the Mappool Showcase of the finals weekend. I'm Ewong, joined today by mapper and playtester of the CWC, Nelly, also known as Kimitakari. How are you doing today?
Hi everyone. I'm doing good. And what about you?
I'm great.
Let's go.
So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into the map pool. This weekend we've got 4 no mods, 3 of each mod except for double time, which has 4, pretty much the same as last week, and we get straight into Minstrel by Hey and Alien, mapped by Ken and Rockma.
Yeah, this one's a Fae Minstrel. We're going to start with number 1. As always, it's a consistency one, so the length is really big. Mappers are Rockma and Ken. It's a collab one. The first part from Rockma and the second from Ken. And because it's Rockma, some of the drum patterns are really spicy, as you can see. Some of the interflows, especially of those triples. It's really tricky here.
And we see quite the step up, 7.51 in SR, and it's just touching AR10, 9.8. It's got a lot more of a focus on half jumps rather than streams, as we can see here.
Yeah, I believe outside of the tiebreaker, this is probably like either the hardest map or the second hardest map in this pool. I don't know why, but star rating, judging from a distance, like the distance spacings is going whoosh.
Yeah, and with the difficulty here, definitely we'll expect to see a lot more one-sided number 1 players this week, probably, as opposed to the coin flips we've been seeing throughout the week, with both teams having a chance. But now it might be a bit more one-sided, just judging by the difficulty and the patterns itself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the slow part a little bit here. Don't worry, it'll get really hard very soon. Or not. Yeah, kinda light here. Here comes the Ki parts. It's mostly jumps here.
Yeah, you can see those there, and again, and again. I think it's a spot where some nervous player might find misses.
Easy patterns, as people will say. And I believe starting here we have Ken parts, so he finished the rest. That's as far as I can remember. If you want a little bit more trivia, so I'm gonna give you a really quick rundown. It sounds by Jimsu, background's drawn by Xir, as far as I can remember. Heian's song title translated to safe. And this specific song has a reference of 3 different Toho songs. I'm not gonna name them, so if you're a Toho enthusiast, then you could probably name them.
It's just a Toho song, that's the important part there.
Yeah, and I believe Minstrel is a Fae too, as far as I can remember. Yeah, there you have a very last Ki at the very last seconds of the map, so you still need to be as cold as you can. And here goes the very last jumps, and there we go. Hard, definitely too hard.
Anyways, no mod 1 out the way. Now we move to no mod 2. Aoi, aka Ooh, ALFOU, yeah, Alpha. Block Tate, the 2020 remaster, mapped by Greeper, the technical pick of this round, with many wiggles in the second half, but for now we get quite a few uncomfortable stream shapes, and we can already see that here.
Yeah, you have to be careful with the patterns here. So I do not suggest to sight read them.
At the final stage, of course. Probably no sight reads anymore, no nonsense.
Yeah. No RNG here. It's only game in or not you're out. It's also not a consistency pick this time, yeah, as Yvonne said. This time is still overall 2 minutes. But yeah, you can see map is really hard.
Yeah, and I think right about now we move into the wiggles here. You can see the demonstration from the replay itself, just the wiggles, and oh, they're fast.
Scary.
Watch out.
Scary.
Yeah. But I think it's a really important emphasis with 6 teams now left of the 38 that played. It's really important to differentiate those teams that can construct teams that can play these kinds of maps, and as you can tell, me and Kimi Dakario are scared of this map and the map before as well.
Yeah, me too. Reaper's quite underrated with tactical maps. He should play more. I mean, play. maybe in the showcase, maybe, but as a mapper, yeah. He has talents. That's all I can say that. Well then, Nomad 2's done. So we're going to move to Nomad 3, which is wherever wherever the mapper wants to be. This time from Ocular and Dictate. Name Song of Temple, map by Dave. This one's... yeah, as you can see, this is very slider heavy this time around.
The other thing to mention, fake SR, do not let the 6-star SR deceive you. The gimmick pick of the round, and very swing oriented with sliders, hyper dashes, and stacks.
Yeah,
and
just
those quick wiggles.
Yeah, just ignore star rating, it's just a number. Like, do you see this? This is a really heavy control map.
Yeah, you can see those quick wiggles, that odd fruit that's not in line, you're gonna catch that. Be really careful of that, and it's the sliders as well. Odd positioning in it. It's just a demonstration of gimmick this round, to be careful.
So you have a really slow section that you still need to be cautious thanks to the slider manipulation.
Yeah, and especially with just the number of big droplets as well, number of ticks in those sliders. Want to be careful, don't drop combo there.
Also, this isn't really by SAR adjustments. This isn't really quite high. It's 8.8, which you still have enough time to react. Here comes the really hard part here. Yeah, to compare with the first half is a little bit a tutorial compared to this, because you have a various fruit patterns here and the boss sliders present here.
Yeah, and I think the trend of gimmick and just the overall skill sets tested in this map are just so consistent throughout the map, and at 3 minutes you've really got to practice and sort of be on your toes when playing this one. Anyways, that's done. Now to another mod for the convert of the round, Stigma by Dust Cell.
The only convert here, and that's Dust Cell Stigma. Not by Rollpan. No, let's try not to joke about the title, okay? And yeah, this one's pretty much mostly 1-2 pattern solo over here. Plus the AR is really big, 9.6 here, and the length is 3 minutes. Oh, I forgot to say that number 3 also has the same length, but it's already too late. Oops.
Yeah, I think what to expect from this map is just really general convert reading. An emphasis of speed this round. You can see 220 BPM, so they don't come falling slowly and be very reading intensive, and with some of these jumps as well, it'll test how well you can recover if you do miss at some points.
Yeah, remember I said this map, like, as I predicted, will be mostly 1-2 snaps? Forget it. Sometimes feature the kick sliders, which makes the map either hard or easy, depends on you. But all this have one thing in common, and that is the platter control.
Yeah, I think with this being a convert, it's so important to have platter control. Especially with some of these placements you get, important to once again just stay on your toes and be active reading and be ready.
As you can see, the song is mostly repeated, so the patterns here aren't really that hard, or at least hard to differentiate themselves. And a little bit of fun fact: this is probably the first time Dust Cell, the artist here, it's first time featuring CWC. More you know.
Only artist of the 4 No Mod songs to not be a featured artist. Other 3 were featured artists.
Yeah, it's true. Aoi and Dictate all feature in FA program. Yeah, okay, so the last KI features quite a little bit of spiciness here. You can still hit them, but yeah, you really need to have really good precise here. Anyway, that's all the no mods. We're gonna jump in straight to hidden, and it's going to be a Rockbust Camellia map. Rockband Camellia. What could you expect? Compute it with some devilish alcoholic steampunk engines.
Oh, long ass name.
True.
Anyways,
now you would say the length is 4 minutes, it should be consistency, and yes it is, but who cares about consistency? Let's feature some tech here. As you can see, some of the snappings and some of the wiggles very differentiated compared to number 1. And wow, okay. 300 combo in, and this map is really hard.
yeah, this stage of the tournament really drop the consistency part. It is more leaned towards the mechanical side of catch, as you can probably tell by the name, and quite a high AR as well, so maybe forgiving for some of those players who aren't able to read lowish AR. We're talking 8 to 9, now at 9.5, but just by looking at the map, it is going to be a challenge regardless.
Oh yeah. That's 1/4 of the map's done.
Yeah, and already we observe a wide range of different patterns. We see streams, doubles, some hyper dashes, and we get the occasional jumps in there as well. And it's just a big mix of all of them to make Hidden One this week another quite scary and hard map in front of us. But as I like to keep referring to, ooh.
Yeah, some of the patterns are really mechanically. And oh look, the break. Just don't try to look at other scores when you play, okay?
Yeah, it's just a deadly mix of everything really, that really tests the mechanics. And with that dangerous 4-minute length as well, it's so important that you just keep playing. Really, as you said, just worry about yourself at that break.
Yeah, it's just about yourself. Just forget that other players here, even your own. Just try to play as good as you can. Now, of course, some of the comp parts can help a little bit, but after that, yeah. Well, I mean, you can see on the screen. And there's plenty hyper sliders involved here. Honestly, we should talk about more about this map, but there's nothing really too much to say. Oh,
Except
here
for the fact,
it's actually
yeah,
the first break here.
except for the fact that the replay is non-FC, so that might say something.
Oh yeah, true.
Be wary, be wary.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen the amount of misses here.
A decent amount of misses as well. You definitely want to be full concentration for this one, and I just can't wait to see it in game.
And there are some spinner traps at the very end. So you also need to be very cautious even for the very last second.
Anyways, on to the next map. We've got Touchdown by Tanchiki, mapped by AFB, and similarly to how we moved away from consistency in the Hidden One, AR8 wasn't low enough apparently according to the mapping team, so AR 7.8.
So if anyone somehow played any AFB low AR hidden maps, it's basically the same, but of course we were talking about finals, and yeah, so pretty much the density overall here is really big. And also a little bit tech, so you also need to pay attention to the patterns very closely. And with hidden and with low AR, it's really hard. The only saving grace here is pretty much the length here. This time it's a 233. By the way, Ewan, what do you think about this background?
American football. It's looking good, and in fact, the two names featured in the song name and difficulty name are in fact references to rugby and American football, both terms used in the sport. But to the players playing this round, It'll be all about the AR 8.7, 7.8.
It's quite a gem of a song, I have to say that.
Yeah, good complex rhythm to complement the mix of streams and just peculiar patterns in general that might throw people off when you combine it with the low AR. Anyways, that's it for the low AR pick. Now I move to Hidden 3. Going back up, San difficulty of Illegal Legacy by Ciatris, mapped by Dive.
If somebody remembers CWC 2021, Steve's Mononoke, it's pretty much still different here, except it's hard. I mean, harder compared to 2 years ago, anyway.
Yeah, and as Hidden 3 should be a technical pick of this round, got lots of doubles, stacks, wiggles, anything that makes up a technical pick for a map pool.
There's a lot of wiggles, I have to say that. However, I forgot about Hidden 1's BPM. Oh, it's 165 and this one 180. So the wiggles here are really faster compared to Hidden 1. It's maybe a really rough though.
Yeah, it's quite obvious here that they are fast wiggles indeed. Once again, a really hard map that will help break the tie between any two teams that go up against each other. All 6 teams are pretty skilled, and this will be one to determine which team makes it through to the next weekend as well.
And of course you have the very last, I won't say very last 10 seconds, but 20 seconds, like the map doesn't really end. Oh, until this part, here we go. Well, that's all the hidden pool confirmed for finals, and oh my god, we have the O's original Trust. Can you launch the video, please?
There it is. Chemical Diving by LV4. Thank you so much for the OSA original this week for Hard Rock 1. A map by Rockma and Dust. And if you notice there as well, the difficulty name reference to Acid Burst, the map.
Yeah, it's one of the, like 3 out of 5 songs made by LV4. So if you're a World Cup enthusiast, just stick around. Thank you, LV4.
Yes, thank you indeed. I think so. The map speaks for itself, and that one miss there as well in the replay. So if you are playing this weekend, watch out. Once again, another non-FC replay. Once again, thank you, LV4. We move into Hard Rock 2 now.
This one's Soberman X Silent Room. Named simply random. And this map, yeah, it's a precision skill.
Done well by AFB and Yoshi Green, who collaborated to map this one. And it's just all sorts of rhythm that you can see and hear from the song itself. And it's just a bit of everything you see. Streams here, a bit contrary to what we saw in the intro.
I also have a video. Yeah, compare it to Hard Rock 1, which, by the way, the length of this custom song is 4 minutes. This time is around 2.
We enter that smallish CS range as well. You can see 6.76, quite small, and it really does emphasize the precision. Low BPM, high AR, and high CS. High AR, of course, that being Hard Rock.
Yeah, I mean, this map requires really high paying attention here. Especially with low CS, which is around, well, I won't say 7, but it's closer to 7. And because of hard rock manipulation, you really need to pay attention, like pay attention when the fruits fall in the bunch. You have the very last jump, slider, hyper slider, and there we go. So that's Hard Rock 2 done. We have Hard Rock 3 by Leaf, titled Ka, map by Nasco. This is 2 minutes, and because it's 3rd slot, it's going to be, again with Nomad 3, wherever the hell this is. It's one of them. I can't really say it's a precise pick because it's mostly a mechanical one. It's not really tech though, I think. I mean, as far as I could see through secret conversations.
Yeah, and if you notice as well, mapped by Natsuko, who is debuting in custom mapping for CWC. This one is first in the 2023 edition of the Cash World Cup.
Oh, true.
There's a test of mechanics, even testing motion. He made this replay. Weird rhythm. You got edge dashes that he missed on there, and hyper chains, something really not to mess with. It's, as we keep saying, it's a step up from the previous round, and it really is a step up this time.
Oh yeah. There you have the very, well, last quarter of the map. which it doesn't really, you know, screw around with the snaps. Just regular 1-4 this time, but some of the patterns here uses anti-flow quite constantly, so until this part. And it's also pretty short, it's 2 minutes too, so one single mistake and you could probably let your team down. With a very perfect scripted run.
There it is, the end of the Hard Rock pool, and now I move into Double Time 1 being Memories of Kindness by Mitsukio and Kana. So if you're a Kano enthusiast, I know there are many Catch Kano enthusiasts, this one's for you. Map by Solology, coming in at 3 minutes 13 with double time, and this time the test of consistency. AR9 with DT, that moves up to a 10.33.
Yeah, we're not changing traditions here, so you know, no techie stuff or anything for now. Let's just relax and listen to Double Time 1. And of course, mapped by Solology, you could probably expect him mapping in Blue Archive songs. And, well, you can probably guess it right because it is. Songs from Blue Archive. And a fun fact, it's also mapped with Osu Laser in mind. Damn, Indonesians with Osu Laser, huh?
Yeah, it was one thing I was going to mention. Indonesians moving into Osu Laser, and I think we saw a few maps mapped with Osu Laser in the previous weeks. This one going to be the one for the week. And it really is gaining popularity, and they produce quality maps as well. This one definitely up to the task and does its job.
Please class, can you make a Osu Laser mapping guide? Thank you.
Soon, after the World Cup, hopefully they get one.
I mean, hopefully. Or, well, you know, if Heavy shuts down stable. But we will never know. So yeah, as you can probably see, the map, okay, it has some 3-4 parts, but it's mostly 1-2 stuff. 1-2 snaps, all until the end.
Yeah, really heavy emphasis we saw on that. To start the whole map and as we reach the end, kind of clear here what this map aims towards. Is general consistency with double time.
And you have the very last hard part of this map.
Double time 1 done. Now to double time 2. Bonjour to test by Sound Temp. The X-Gon double time for this week. We saw what last week's was like, and we're in for a treat this time. Mechanics mapped by X-Gon with wiggles with somewhat uniform spacing and sliders. But really, with X-Gon as a mapper, you can already expect a treat of a double time map.
Yeah, most of his maps he was doing for this year's World Cup as a mapper. It's mostly double time.
Not just double time, but really weird stuff as well. We saw last week's map with all those sliders and the week before the Terraria map with just some really odd patterns you wouldn't expect normally. And then we get similar trends this time around, really testing those mechanics in the funny ways that XCON really likes mapping them.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't say like this map has any funny parts in it. It's mostly wiggle sex, as you can see. It's not like, yeah, as you mentioned, like previous weekend, it was like slider manipulation or anything. Nah, this one's a quite simple. How you say this? Mapping gimmick.
Just mechanics which can be gimmicky, and it's just the standard mechanics. You can see really fast wiggles with the double time as well.
Yeah, so some quick fun facts. It sounds made by Rockbot this time. Second, this song is from Trio Savior. And 3, Iwang, do you just said bonjour when it was like when it's supposed to be like bonjour?
Bonjour. Brilliant. I get the pass.
I'm just correcting, man. So, okay, let's move on. Double Time 3, Freedman. Really classic song, mapped by Yoshi Green. And this one is really high air one, so hey, Air 9.2 enthusiasts, look at here. There, your wishes have finally concluded, I guess.
It come true.
It's real, guys. It's real.
Yeah, and this one, the shorter double time maps coming in under 2 minutes. And this is speed pick in general, so once again, stay focused. 1 minute 49 only, really no room for mistakes, and you can just see the emphasis on speed here.
Yeah, with a very short burst streams present here. And because the length is really dangerous this time around, it's not like 2 minutes, no, it's less than 2 now. Yeah, the chat's clarifying that this is a boomer song. I would say it's a Osu boomer song. I think it was like ranked in 2011 or something, maybe 2012 even.
Iconic Vocaloid older boomer song.
Actually, no. What am I saying? No, wait. Alternate maps probably appear like in 2013 by now.
There it is, the end of Double Time 3. On to Double Time 4 now, which takes a little bit of a step back in terms of speed, only coming in at AR 8.2 without DT, that becomes 9.8. Your Star by Monster Siren, mapped by Imeno Himiko.
Yeah, and Himiko really likes Dark Knight.
Got another video. This time from the other famous mobile game, as he mentioned, Ark Knights.
It's a little bit of a gimmick pick here. By AR, I could probably guess like around 8.6 with no mod. And with double time is 9.8. 8.2. Oh, I'm sorry, I cannot do Osu maps here.
Yeah, we see with the gimmick comes these sliders that are angled so that it really tests how well you can catch those droplets. But I will say this time around, much more forgiving than the last week's pick. But still very present there. Those droplets that angle out and back in to complete the slider.
Yeah, some of the sliders don't really need to be skipped just because how it was mapped. Like, I mean, how sliders was mapped here, with the full focus on horizontal and left and right. So I do not really suggest it to miss any acts here. Cool song, anyway.
Yeah, just really consistent, got 2 minutes 40. Really, with those sliders, it's important to calculus are not up to you. Anyways, with that, the double time pool now complete. We are into mixed mode now, and the first Camellia map, and only Camellia map of the pool.
That's the second.
The second it is, Hidden One was a Camellia map, my bad. Ghoul by Camellia, map by Dust. Another appearance from them.
So some fun fact, Ghoul is the sequel to Ghost. So it's essentially Ghost 2, but this time it's named Ghoul. And yeah, it's because of it's a big spot. It's going to be showcased for Hard Rock first. We should initially have the original CS of 4.
Just for note, the map itself, as you said, an original CS of 4 and an initial AR of 9.8, so not too much of a step up with Hard Rock. It's just a matter of the change in patterns with the increased CS. We'll mention the longer of the 3 maps in the next one pool, coming in at 417. And just a mix of everything, hybrid technical pick, this one.
Also, second fact, no mod in this, like, if you play with no mods whatsoever, this map is harder than a Hard Rock. So, if you're going to play this with no mod, just be aware that it's a little bit harder than Hard Rock. So yeah, that was the first half. Now we're heading straight to the second half of the map. Oh, missed some wiggles here. Yeah, also I forgot to say that the, like, outside of CS, the AR this time is 9.8. So it's really, so the CS is really high this time around. Which could be a little bit blessing for players. It's not like AR 10 or anything. There's another drop.
This shows the increase in difficulty this pool. Not all about 2 drops, but to be fair, it is the Hard Rock variation of the mixed one though, so definitely will be harder.
I agree, yeah.
You can see just from this gameplay, this is the hyper sliders, the stacks, and you will see soon the quick movement required, and that is really emphasized with Hard Rock, but My curiosity is piqued when you do say that this is harder on no mode. I'm interested in seeing how that goes.
I mean, some of the patterns don't really. I mean, it aligns well with Hard Rock, but because Hard Rock features manipulation, like a little bit pattern manipulation, no mod doesn't, of course. Some of the patterns becomes quite harder than Hard Rock. You only have to play for yourself, really, and judge yourself if it's easier or not. So that's I was mentioned before that Hard Rock, doing Hard Rock on Mixmod 1 is easier than no mod. Anyway, let's jump to Mixmod 2 and oh, this one's really spicy. We're going Hirasawa one.
Yeah, Mixmod 2. You may know Shima Shinen Koen, the cut version, so shorter, coming at 2 minutes 44 by Susumu Hirasawa. Time demonstrated with Hidden, demonstrating the AR 8.2 variant, coming in DS 4.1 as well. Tests the wiggles, really. You can see that wiggles, half tap dashes and some quarter hybrid dashes as well. And you will see as well here, like here for example, some unconventional sliders with those weird patterns. And giving off that really iconic Kirby mix sound as well. Of course, this being Susumu Hirasawa must be.
Yeah, honestly, when I first time looked at the map, like the Mixmod 2, I was like, does this really fit to the finals? Because some of the patterns here are scary. I mean, to control wise.
Yeah, this will definitely turn into a nightmare for some of the other mods, but Hidden especially, but XCon's demonstrating this pretty well.
It's not XCon.
He's gone.
Ah, sorry.
That's the one.
I didn't hear.
As a matter of fact, he's gone. A bit of trivia for you. He's now a higher rank than XCon. The Australian taking quite a few ranks over the past few weeks.
Yeah, that's true. I was a little bit shocked when I saw it.
And here, final Mixmod 3, World Ender, Sasakure UK, and TJ Hangneil. Mapped by Ken. Forgot to mention earlier, Minyam mapped the other one, Mixmod 2. Here we're back to normal. We've got AR 9.1, but this time a focus on smaller CS, coming in at CS5 with the mod. Harder off that moves up to the disgusting 6.5. For our custom hard rock players, this should not be too bad for them.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
The only standout here is the mix and variation in rhythm and BPM changes. You can already see that in that bottom right corner. BPM ranges from 90 to 560. So it's a bit of everything. The AR with that HR is 9.1. so no more players will have a little bit of an easier time with the still sort of high, but normal compared to the 6.5, CS5, the AR 9.1 as well.
And the CS of 5, yeah. Oh, you really need to stand still here.
Interesting, interesting.
Yeah, even after the comp are like the patterns itself doesn't really end here. And you have some of the very last parts of the map. Last 10 seconds, I presume. And there we go. That's the whole map pool, but now, this time we have... don't worry, it's nothing really special tiebreaker this time. It's War Fragments 3 Xi. Map by Jimzu and Dika, collab between two mappers here. And pay attention to star rating. We're getting to air like SR8 category.
Yeah, SR8 in the finals weekend already quite high, and it just really shows the how much we need to up the difficulty this year with so much quality in players. AR 9.8, CS 4.5, and under 5 minutes, only 4 minutes 57, but you will see a tiebreaker is a tiebreaker, and Dika and Jemzu demonstrate this very well by testing everything. You see aspects of speed and consistency. Later on we get to see a bit of control and a bit of reading in this map as well.
So yeah, compared to the last year's tiebreaker, which was AGHD by DJ Rice, this is mostly stream. Like, the song itself is a heavy streaming map this time around, so there's no wub parts around here. So just pure piano and jamming and stuff. Also, fun fact: it's like the map was used with stable and laser, so of course Jamzu mapped in this client's stable, and Dika with laser. So again, Indonesian map, like Indonesian people, how do you map those to laser with this? That was the Ki. Quite a rough Ki though. Featuring various patterns here that you need to pay attention with left and right.
I believe here is when we see a few BPM changes. Similar to the last map, there's quite a range, 225 to 200. But for the most part of the map, it is 200 BPM.
Yeah, that calm part though is really cool and scary at the same time. Yeah, quite a heavy comp part here, but we're gonna slowly gonna bump the difficulty, scaling up to the roof at the end. I'm sure of it. Ah, there it
this
is.
The intense part, the part where we see people miss and where games get determined. Yeah, and really not much else to say, it's just tiebreaker. Tiebreaker being tiebreaker with the sort of stuff we see here.
Ooh, patterns here are really spicy. So you have a heavy amount of vertical kick and sliders here present, and then a circle no like goes after it, making a left-right kind of part. It's quite scary there. You still have the very last section here. Can Corver see this? Ah, yes, he did.
And
As as well. What a gamer.
Wonderful. And the obligatory long spinner at the end of the tiebreaker. There it is. The map pool for the finals weekend. Definitely a step up from last weekend with some really hard maps.
Yep, and the finals map pool is concluded. So we're gonna wish the rest of the teams just, make a really sensational moment for themselves. Because we have 3 European teams this time against the world. So who knows, maybe this time we'll see, probably for the very long time, the top 3 European team getting in the podium. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely a lot of quality left in the tournament, and it's anyone's game really, with so many European teams. Could be anyone taking that 3rd place in the losers bracket, but with the US and the SK on top facing off next week, really a game to be excited for. Those loser bracket games as well. Apart from that, get practicing. The finals pool is there waiting for you. I am Ewong, have been joined by Kimi Takari. Thank you for joining me today. We will see you next week.
Good luck, everyone.
Just being young and stupid. Oh, I haven't been all that you could have hoped for, but if you'd held on a little longer, you'd have had more reasons to be proud.